Welcome to the channel. I've come to the conclusion that aging C5 Corvettes are like puppies. They're cute, they're energetic, but they demand constant attention. And here we go, the C5 is back in the shop again. This time I've got blender door issues, and for the HVAC, there's no control at all on the right side. It's full heat all the time. I've gone through the tests in the service manual. The manual tests, full on, full off, whatever. You can hear the motor, but the temperature doesn't change. So I'm sure the little plastic gear inside the right-hand side has failed. Since these things are so hard to get at, they're probably easy to change once you're there, but they're so hard to get at, I'm not skimping on the actual motors. What I've done is I bought two Dorman parts. I forget they are. They're about 40 bucks a piece. You can get some for $18 on the internet, but I'm not taking any chances. So I got two of these guys, and I'll go through the motions of getting to it and making the repair. And make sure, if you're going to do this, make sure you have a service manual, because as hard as it is to follow, it's a good backup if nothing else. So what I'm going to do, a few preliminary things first. I don't want to do this repair with the battery connected, because frankly, I'm kind of scared of the airbag. So I'm going to chalk the wheels and do a few preliminary things prior to disconnecting the battery, like taking the tonneau cover, opening that, bring the seat backwards, and a few other little things. So let's go through the process, and hopefully this turns out okay. Seeing that the park brake is going to have to be disengaged and the gear shift out of park, it's going to be in second gear. I'm chalking the wheel so it doesn't roll on me. I don't want any goof ups in the process, so this will be the first thing I'll do. Next, I'll just open up the back cover, because I got to get to what they call the waterfall, that center section. And then the other quick things. Oops. All right. I have to put it in second gear, because you won't be able to get the center console out with it in this position. And at some point, since it's in neutral, I put it, typical C5. I use the handbrake for now, but that's going to come off eventually. So that's it. Now I'll disconnect the battery and go from there. And the seat has to go back. Unless you're tall, which I'm not. Next step is taking off the waterfall, because it covers the console. You need a T15 screwdriver for this. 4 screws. Although you don't have to, I like to take the lid off of the center console, because it becomes a real pain to work around. So just 4 Phillips screws here. There's a couple covers here. May need a little screwdriver, don't need a screwdriver. If it was new, I probably would need a screwdriver, but things are kind of loosey-goosey on this baby. Okay. And got to pry this up. This is the traction control, and it connector comes off real easy. Looks like I'll need a 10 millimeter. There's a Phillips in the ashtray area. I think there's two of them. Yeah. Now I need to pull off the, oops, interior temperature sensor panel. Right here. As you can see, it just pops off. And a Phillips screw back there. That is not a Phillips screw. That is a T15. Let's see what happens. Okay. Now you have to remove the connector on the gas filter cap switch. Which is back here. Comes off easy, and the center console. Back section is off. This feels loose to me. Oops. There should just be some clips in there to hold this. And this is why you have your transmission in second gear. If it was in park position, it wouldn't come out. So now, well, this one here, I've got an aftermarket conversion for the radio. I've got a 3.5 millimeter plug-in for an iPod. Let's try to pull the E-pillar. Okay. Wow. This could be tight. Just as a reference, the A-pillar pulls out towards the inside of the car. I thought it would pull back, but it actually pulls out towards the inside of the car, just to let you know. Let's try to pull the top vent. I think there's little tabs in there or something. And the light sensor. A little twist. Actually, yeah, it is a light sensor. And that's out. Okay, there's two screws under that vent. And they're 7 millimeter. Let's see if I can. Okay, now we have a couple of screws that hold the dash on. This looks like one here. These things look like the same plugs they have in the headlight buckets. And too bad they don't stay this good for the headlights, because they keep popping out. Here we go. Finally got it. Here we go. Jeez. Okay, on the side there's also a screw here. 7mm again. Maybe now. Here we go. And one connector. So, there are a bunch of screws around the, where are we here? A bunch of screws around the top. Well, actually it goes this way. 1, 2, 3. One to the side. And the two big ones there and there at the bottom. There are two screws under the instrument panel, I guess lip, I guess you might call this thing. We've got two screws under the left kick panel. T15s again. There's a little notch at the bottom that lets you put a screwdriver in there. Then disconnect the connectors. Just one little clip. It was on the back side, I didn't see it. To remove the, what is this? I believe the fog light and the trunk, the hatch switch. That's out of the way. And there's another T15 in the back here. Pops out of here. Oh, we have another connector here. Oh, okay. All right. Left kick panel is off. And there's one screw here, which is a 7mm. That's got to be removed because your dash panel ain't going to come off without breaking if you don't take that off. So we'll get a 7mm and go from there. Well, let's see if it comes off. Seems like everything is loose. Oh, there's another connector back here. Oh yeah, for the hazard light. Got it. I just had to give it a little tug with a screwdriver. Oh boy. Well, it's not that heavy. Not bad. Ooh, I hope I remember how this goes together. Now to pull the dreaded airbag. This thing scares the daylights out of me. The connector for the airbag has a safety lock, this blue thing here. You have to pull this out first. And then you can disconnect the connector. Okay, the airbag is disconnected. Connector here. And we'll go about taking it off. There are 3 screws that you can easily see, but there's also 2 screws under this flex hose that goes to the vent over here in the A pillar. So I'm going to try to remove this hose to get at those screws a little easier without damaging anything. What you want to do is mark the 5 volts, the washer outline here, so it goes back in the same position. Just in case there's some play in this thing. Okay. Something's holding me back here. Okay. There it is. Don't blow up in my face, boy. Put it back together. I'll just remove this thing, and I'll make that a whole lot easier. Here's a comparison of the original one on the left and the Dorman on the right. First thing I noticed was the spindle is plastic instead of aluminum. And the other thing is the angle, the position that it's in is different. The Dorman is pointing straight up between the 2 marks, and the original one is all the way to the left, on the left mark, and a little bit beyond, in fact. So let's take it apart and have a look. I'm not seeing anything so far. Oh yes, here we go. The gear is split right there. And same as I've seen on other YouTube videos, same deal. So anyway, at least I know that we found something. So let's put the new one in, and hopefully that takes care of it. I'm going to do the one on the left as well, even though it's working. You know, it's 23 years old, 24 years old. It's bound to fail soon anyway. So let's put this one away and install the new one, and then we'll work on the left-hand side. What I had to do was realign the shaft to match the spindle on this thing, because it was way in the full heat position and kind of jammed down there. So I put it back in the mid position as close as I could, and then this should slip right on here, and it should be aligned. Yeah, it did. Now I'll put in the screws, and that should be it. Oops, wait a minute. Make sure nothing's pinched. I wish GM would have put a little door so you can get at this without taking the whole car apart. Well, here's the left one. It should have been the easiest one, but I guess I have to pull off this unit here to get at it. And I hope it's not going to give me too much of a headache, but I've got no choice. And I understand that you can probably do this from the bottom without taking the dash off. I haven't tried it, but the dash is off now. I'll do it from the top.
This is the left-hand side module. That was a huge pain to get out of there. I had to remove the Bose system module to get at it. And I noticed that the alignment on this one is way out of whack. It's, I would say, what, maybe 10 degrees too far counterclockwise. I'll take it apart and see what's happening there. I don't know. Maybe it has to be that way. I'm not sure. Okay, I see a problem. This thing glitched on me once. And I don't know if you can see it. There's a tiny crack that's starting to form here. It may have slipped once and got stuck in that position. But either way, I'm changing it regardless. But it's hard to see in the video here. Oh, maybe not. But that's no good. I'm hoping that's what happened there.
At this point, both actuators have now been replaced, installed, plugged in. I tell you what, that left-hand side, thank God I went to the chiropractor this morning, because you have to be a contortionist to work on that. I had to pull off the lower steering wheel cover, or steering shaft cover, and I had to remove the Bose module to get at it finally from the bottom. I couldn't get at that one screw from the top. It was just too close to the module. But anyway, once I got that done, it went pretty decent. Not easy by any stretch of the imagination, but it worked. Now I'm just going to make sure I'm going to reconnect everything. And I'm not putting anything together yet until I make sure that it's calibrated and working correctly. So that's the next step. Oops. Okay, I've got success. I follow the instructions in the manual. And also compare it to the instruction that came with the Dorman actuators. And they mirror each other pretty closely, just worded differently. Pulled fuse 27, reconnected the battery, turned on the ignition switch, and I saw a little bit of movement there, but not completely. And then I started the engine, and once I started the engine, all the actuators started working. When I turn the left knob for the master temperature control, you can see the blend doors move in whatever direction it is together. And when I adjusted the right-hand side, only the right-hand flapper was going up and down. So I think that's pretty well has it. Now I've got to put everything back together. It'll be just in the reverse order that I took it apart. So I'll do that. And I think that's it. So here it goes. I'll put it back together, and hopefully I don't miss anything on the way back. I don't want to miss a screw or something and have 3 pieces of equipment on top of it and have to pull all apart again. But yeah, let's go. One thing I didn't mention is I'm going to disconnect the battery again for when I connect the airbag. I don't want any power to that thing while I'm installing it. It could be exciting. It'd be like stepping on an IED. So I'm going to disconnect the battery.
The little muffler on the left-hand side I took off for access to the actuator. Had some foam on the inside. It's probably some kind of, I think it's a muffler anyway, but it's just like, there's nothing there. So what I've got here is air filter foam I use on the bikes, and I'm just going to make put some new stuff in there. So simple enough when I had it here, so whatever. And there's also, it had a packing on the outside, so I just cleaned that off there just a minute ago. I'm just going to put more on the outside here. Maybe it's just to keep things quiet. So anyway, or keep them rattling around in there. Well, I had it apart. I did a little bit of snooping just to make sure everything is okay. Nothing's out of place. First thing I noticed was this thing here. A little bit of GM sloppy workmanship here. And it's not notched in, latched in. There's a little latch in there. It goes in there. And this sound insulating piece is not aligned correctly. So they just left it hanging out there. So I'm going to make a slot in here, in here, to allow this to go up against the side over here. So I'm not very impressed with that.
Well, that's it. It's back together and seems to be working okay. The left-hand controls both sides, up and down, hot and cold, and the right hand varies the amount of heat or cold on the right-hand side. At first, I panicked a little bit. I wasn't getting any air blowing from the center vent, and then I realized it was set to floor vent. So anyway, that issue there was no issue. It took me about, I'm thinking 3.5, 4 hours to take this thing apart. And then, of course, all the repairs in between, after that. And it took me 4.5 hours to put it back together. And that's with a couple of false starts, things like I put the dash on and realized I didn't put the two hoses back on for the top section there, so took the dash back off. I'm getting good at that. Of course, the left-hand side under the steering column, that was a pain in the butt again, putting it back on. Other than that, I guess everything is good. That'll be it for this video, and hopefully the car doesn't give me any more issues. Anyway, if you enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I'll hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.